All right, everyone, it's Lawfare time. Link in the description, archived, of course. Harvard potentially getting defunded by Trump in regards to certain federal grants and so forth. This will unfortunately be almost immediately injuncted. We've seen this particular pattern going forth. Right-wing media is celebrating this. Oh, yeah, Harvard's getting defunded. Please let me explain. There is virtually no chance that some lower court is not immediately going to put the kibosh to it and find some legal workaround by which somehow the Trump administration is literally forced to continue granting money to Harvard. There is a virtually 0% chance. I would be very surprised if it actually goes through. Then what happens is it gets appealed to a higher court. They'll probably uphold it too, because they'll get favorable treatment because the courts have been stacked by Biden justices. Then SCOTUS will probably punt it, and so they won't do anything about it. This has been the pattern over and over and over for a number of months. Lower court injuncts, higher court upholds, SCOTUS doesn't take up the issue, allows the injunction to stand. This has happened a number of times within this administration because Orange Man bad. And it's point and grunt mode. I hate using that term, although I love the song by Adolf Satan. That's basically the legal system at this point. Very interesting, actually, when you think about it. Supposedly, the law is supposed to be blind. I wasn't sure that it was also supposed to be deaf and dumb, but it seems to be. It's basically like, that Three Monkeys meme. Never mind. Trump is going to be injuncted on this if he moves forward with it, and nothing will come of it. And it'll be years, probably, in the courts. The legal system in this country is extremely slow. You have to have an acute instance in order for somebody to really get railroaded. Like, they have to be on five different cameras slaughtering someone or something like that. Otherwise, the case will probably take 6 months or more. That's because of overcrowding, by the way, more than anything else. Works a little bit quicker to detain people. That's only for like the drunk tank and things like that. You detain for a day or two or something like that. It's a little bit different than going to a supermax prison or something like that, which somebody will be soon, by the way. Um, and it won't be me. This will be injuncted. What's going to happen is the courts are going to weigh in, and they're going to say, you're not allowed to do this. Here's some obscure law from 1840 that says you're not allowed to defund Harvard or something like that. Or, Mr. President, the funds were already appropriated, so you can't do Indian giving and take them back now or something along those lines. Trump has to deal with this shit literally every day. If anything, his presidency so far has been marked by the most lawfare that we've ever seen in the country's history. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that the people that are put into positions of power are generally honest and fair and well-meaning, or that they are generally corrupt? I think you answered latter. So, the people that are generally embarking on this judiciary journey, are they fair and balanced, or are they corrupt? Well, I mean, some of them are elected officials. Some of them are selected officials. Oh, but who did the selecting? Other politicians that you know to be corrupt, generally speaking. Well then, there's your legal system. This is why we can't trust it. This is why people should generally mind their own fucking business and not engage with the legal system any more than they have to. There's no such thing as a fair trial, is what I'm trying to say. With Trump, he can't even get a fair legislative bill passed. Even when the legislature passes a goddamn bill, the courts might injunct it. Well, he signed, I know, the legislature passed it, the House and the Senate and the executive branch all signed off on it, but we're not going to allow it. It can't take effect. It has to go before the Supreme Court. They're just trying to slow him down, in other words. Generally speaking, they can't stop him on everything, but they're trying to slow him down on everything. And there's a reason for that. These people are corrupt. Again, I go back to the old story that I tell. I can believe one or of two things. Either the system generally that I know is corrupt is still acting in a corrupt manner, and Donald Trump is the renegade attempting to stand against them, along with a handful of carefully selected individuals. Or Donald Trump is a unique villain, so villainous that the formerly corrupt system has all of a sudden become uncorrupted and is now fighting for liberty and freedom. It's basically juxtaposed on Ukraine. I can believe that Ukraine is still a corrupt country, which it was reckoned to be by the liberal media for decades, or I can believe and that Russia, not necessarily the good guy, they did invade the country, but they're not unique villains or anything like that. That Putin's not uniquely evil. Or I can believe the hype of the legacy media over the last half decade and believe that all of a sudden, all of the corrupt oligarchs in Ukraine cleaned up their act to defend their country. And so did Zelensky, even though he was, written up multiple times by the legacy media, and that Vladimir Putin is a unique villain. It's not a perfect metaphor, but I think that you get my meaning. I believe that the system is dead, basically. It's hollowed out, filled with beetles and rot and shit like that. And that Donald Trump genuinely cares. Is he perfect? Fuck no. Is he God Emperor? No, fuck that shit. No reasonable person believes that. Is he trying to do a good job? Yes. Is he generally doing a good job? Yes. That's the best that we can ask for. We don't have a Hercules or something like that running for office, but we do have people that at least are fucking trying. And the judiciary keeps standing in their way. Harvard getting partially defunded by Donald Trump. Will this actually happen? 99% chance says no, unfortunately. That's about all. Peace out.